It was a clear and very nice day to start the week off in East Central Illinois. Another day in our chilly stretch of weather. Now we are going to start seeing warmer temperatures starting tomorrow and soak in that warmth while it's here because a big time cool down is on the way for the weekend. Andrew?
Thanks, Ben. Also, the man accused of causing a fatal crash to kill the Charleston couple is back in court. We'll tell you what happened at this afternoon's proceedings.
Plus, after 4 long decades, police are still on the hunt for a Champaign woman's killer. We'll preview a special report. This is Newswatch, and your Monday edition starts now.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection, commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.
Everybody bundle up because it's going to be another cold week and I'm not looking forward to it. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Bennett.
And I'm Andrew Spade. Last week's snow piles are melting, but will we see more snow in the coming days? Ben Whitney is back with a preview of the Skywatch forecast. Good evening, Ben.
Good evening, Andrew and Olivia. You are exactly right about that snow melting. You can very clearly see that on our WeatherBug camera here. You can see that snow that's really been accumulated over the past week or so. We saw last weekend really start to melt off across the area today. That's due in part to the direct sunlight and the clear skies we saw today. Not many of us got above the freezing point in East Central Illinois today. 24 degrees for our high in Charleston. The communities that did get above the freezing point to the far southeast, 33 degrees in Terre Haute and 34 degrees for the high in Robinson. Right now we're starting to see clouds starting to move in from the west and temperatures are staying right around the 20-degree mark in Charleston right now. We won't be seeing those temperatures dropping too much more this evening. 19 degrees for our overnight low. Clouds will start to pick up into tomorrow morning, where we'll be left with a mostly cloudy sky to start the day. But the main theme are these winds coming from the southwest. They're going to be fueling a big warm up into tomorrow, and I'll have the full news on that coming up later tonight.
Thanks, Ben. In Clark County, the man who pleaded not guilty to causing a fatal crash that killed 2 people is back in court this afternoon. Edwin Pacheco Mesa of Honduras faces 7 charges, including reckless homicide, aggravated DUI, driving without a license, not driving on the right side of the road, and failure to reduce speed. The crash on October 24th killed 71-year-old Michael Clayton and his wife, 66-year-old Gail Clayton, and injured 2 others. The case is still on track to go on trial next month. 1 man is dead and another in custody after a shooting at a Decatur park Friday. Decatur police say authorities in South Shelbyville arrested 23-year-old Joshua Gregg after an investigation into that shooting at Sportsman Park on Lost Bridge Road. They say an 18-year-old man was found shot in the park and died of his injuries. The Macon County Coroner's Office identified the victim as Landon Bondin of Mount Zion. Police say Gregg is charged with involuntary manslaughter and aggravated unlawful use of a weapon.
After 40 years, a family still hopes to find the killer of a Champaign woman. Join me this week for a 4-part special report. Who killed Barbara Bramer? The Champaign County Sheriff's Office says 39-year-old Dr. Bramer, a clinical psychologist at Carle Hospital, was last seen riding her bike on September 19, 1985. 5 days later, authorities say Bramer's body was found in a cornfield southeast of the city. Former Champaign County investigator Kent Fletcher reflects on the case.
You know, we did not have DNA. I mean, DNA was around, but it wasn't being used in 1985. Now, what we possibly could have gotten from DNA, I do not know.
Investigators say Bramer was found with severe blunt force trauma and her pants pulled down, but they also say that doesn't necessarily mean it was a homicide. In fact, They say they believe it could have been an accident. I'll have the details tomorrow night in part 1 of Who Killed Barbara Bramer. Again, that's Who Killed Barbara Bramer on Newswatch, starting tomorrow at 5:30. A Richland County man is headed to prison after admitting to gun and sexual misconduct charges. Federal prosecutors say 57-year-old Edward Bates of Olney pleaded guilty to being a felon in possession of a firearm, distribution of child pornography, attempted transfer of obscene material to a minor, and committing those crimes as a registered sex offender. They say Bates distributed child pornography in Richland County in 2022 and sent sexually explicit material to a 10-year-old in 2023. Late last month, a federal judge sentenced Bates to 35 years in prison to be followed by supervised release for the rest of his life.
More than 100 deployed Illinois soldiers are finally home after a 9-month deployment. Members of the 2nd Battalion, 130th Infantry Regiment arrived home Saturday and were welcomed by family and friends during a ceremony at Mid-America St. Louis in Mascoutah. The unit deployed in February this year, and the troops mobilized in support of Operation Spartan Shield and deployed to 7 countries, including Syria, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia. During deployment, soldiers conducted security and base defense operations, securing critical infrastructure. The Indiana State Senate is considering plans to redraw the state's congressional districts. The State House already approved a new congressional map that would give Republicans a chance to win all 9 seats in the upcoming midterm elections. President Trump has called on Indiana lawmakers to make the change, following similar redistricting efforts in Texas and Missouri. Those efforts have drawn protests from Democrats and others who point out redistricting is typically done once a decade following the census. Many Republicans in the state Senate have been hesitant to redraw the maps now, and the leader of the state Senate previously said he didn't have enough votes to pass the plan.
The Illinois State Board of Education is working to improve K-12 students' math skills. The Illinois report card consistently shows that math performance is below English and language arts. According to Capital News Illinois, the board is working on what it calls a comprehensive numeracy plan. This plan could change the way math is taught and how math teachers are trained. The State Board of Education recently concluded a series of public hearings on a first draft of the plan. A second draft will be presented to the board in February, and the final document is expected to be approved in June. Lakeland College receives a generous grant to help out its nursing program. The school received almost $19,000 from the Illinois Board of Higher Education. Spokesperson Aaron Wentz says the money will be used to buy educational equipment like infusion pumps and mannequins with injection arms. Wentz says money will also be used to enhance partnerships with Eastern Illinois and Southern Illinois universities. The grant program was set up to increase the number of registered nurses in Illinois.
If you're planning to put a toy under your tree, beware. The federal government is recalling the Crayola branded Pip Cubes. The cubes contain magnets that can become loose and harmful to children if swallowed. So far, there are no reports of injuries. The sets were sold on Michael's stores and online at Amazon. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says if you have this toy, toss it or return it for a refund. A Coles County family is rooted in farming, but this time of year their crop is a bit more meaningful. Newswatch's Emily Davis travels to Overton Tree Farm to learn about a new family tradition in the making.
In fact, many of this year's trees have already sold.
So I have October and half of November to just flip this around, and it is like no sleep. We're just living and breathing Christmas.
Sophie Overton and her husband Cody have spent years farming corn and soybeans, but 3 years ago they began growing and selling Christmas trees. Sophie says they've relied on social media to grow the business.
So social media is the only advertisement we do other than word of mouth. We don't pay for newspaper or anything. So social media has really, it's what boosts us. And the younger crowd that comes out here, they love the videos and the aesthetically pleasing environment.
And while the business continues to grow online, some of the most popular types of tree don't even grow here in Illinois.
So the main trees that people like to buy are Fraser firs, and we cannot grow them here, so we normally have to drive to Michigan to buy them.
Still, the family's farm roots grow deep.
This is my grandpa's first tractor that he drove, so we have it here on display for a bunch of people to sit on and take lots of pictures on.
And Sophie says this farm is rooted in family tradition.
We are very blessed because I don't think we could I know we could not do this without our family here. My mom's here, my mother-in-law is here, my husband, my nephew, my kids, but we could not do it without family. It's definitely a family business, as is farming. We all farm together, so we are very blessed.
In Mattoon, I'm Emily Davis for WEIU Newswatch.
Firs are a popular holiday tree, but their growing season is much longer. Arborists say the variety only grows 1 to 3 feet annually in normal weather conditions. The Illinois Extension Office says about 350 conifer trees grow on Christmas farms in the U.S. And the office says tree farms help stabilize the soil, protect water supplies, and support complex ecosystems.
If you plan to travel by car to Chicago over the holidays, pack your patience. Transportation analytics company INRIX ranks the Windy City at the top of its annual list of the most congested cities. New York dropped a notch this year to second. Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and Boston also make the top 5 this year. According to the report, a typical driver lost 49 hours to traffic this year, and that's 6 more hours than last year. In Chicago, it was 112 hours lost. The report found Istanbul had the most traffic globally for the 2nd straight year. An organization dedicated to agriculture returns to Effingham High School. On Friday, members of Effingham's FFA chapter signed their chapter charter. Future Farmers of America helps students learn more about agriculture and aims to help youth become effective leaders, innovators, and problem solvers. Effingham school officials say the new FFA charter is more than a formality, but opens doors to hands-on learning experience, competitions, and scholarships. Enjoy the 40-degree temperatures tomorrow.
Because conditions will drastically change for the weekend. Ben Whitney is back with a preview.
You're right. We're going to see a big-time cool down for this weekend. And looking past this weekend, we'll see these below-average temperatures remaining in east central Illinois. That cool down could even see temperatures near the single digits. I'll have the full Skywatch forecast next.
A production of WEIU TV, City Spotlight, covering the communities of Effingham to Robinson, to Danville, to Champaign, to Decatur, to Taylorville, and places in between. For a past decade, City Spotlight has been talking with community leaders about what's happening in their local communities across central and southeastern Illinois.
Wednesday at 7 o'clock on WEIU.
Good evening. It was a pretty pleasant day to kick off our work week across east central Illinois. Sunny skies, and that sunshine did cause the snow that we've seen on the ground to finally start melting away a little bit. 24 degrees was our high in Charleston, so not everyone got to the freezing point today, but 34 degrees in Robinson and 33 degrees for our high today in Terre Haute. Those communities did get above the freezing point today. Looking at this evening, though, temperatures are already starting to cool off. 20 degrees right now in Charleston, still holding on to the mid-20s down to the south in Effingham, but generally clear skies across the viewing area. That'll be changing pretty quickly overnight tonight. We'll see clouds building in from the west and moving in overnight tonight towards towards tomorrow morning. 19 degrees for our overnight low, but the main theme are these winds. Winds are going to be starting to pick up overnight tonight from the southwest, more consistently around 5 to 10 miles an hour, but eventually gusting near 20 miles an hour. These winds will continue to pick up tomorrow. Could even see wind gusts near 40 miles an hour for the daytime for Tuesday. 42 degrees for our high, much warmer than today, and that's due to those south winds. That's going to be causing the warmer air to move into the area and promoting these warmer temperatures. We'll start out the morning with some partly cloudy skies. We'll see a little break in the clouds during the noon and afternoon hours tomorrow before we see mostly cloudy skies re-entering the forecast to end our day for Tuesday. And looking at these winds right now, not really very strong, less than 5 miles an hour across the region. But again, these winds are going to be moving in and picking up pretty quickly. By sunrise tomorrow, these winds from the southwest near 40 miles an hour at their strongest. Now we'll see the winds start to tamper down a little bit during the day on Tuesday, near 30 miles an hour during the afternoon hours tomorrow. And those winds will pick right back up Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. Some of these wind gusts Tuesday into Wednesday could be closer to 50 miles an hour. So it's going to be a very next windy 24 to 48 hours across east central Illinois. Now looking at our futurecast here, you can see that clear sky right now, but those clouds will start to move in over the next couple hours or so. By Tuesday night, very early Tuesday morning, you can see mostly cloudy skies over the entire viewing area. Looking ahead towards tomorrow morning, you can see that some of our northern communities will still be stuck under some mostly cloudy skies, but many of us will get to see the sunshine tomorrow morning before those clouds come right back overhead for the afternoon hours and throughout the rest of the nighttime on Tuesday. Those clouds moving in will start to be a precursor for what we could see ahead in the forecast. 38 degrees on Wednesday with the chances for some spotty rain and the potential chance for some flurries. 29 degrees on Thursday under partly cloudy skies. We'll see temperatures remain near the freezing point to end our work week, but a cool down does begin on Friday. That could see those temperatures getting down near the single digits across East Central Illinois for Sunday. Looking at the rain chances and timing this out, you can see a lot of this rain will be coming overnight Tuesday in through Wednesday morning, and it'll be very isolated pockets of showers. You can see here potential areas for Charleston to get hit, but a lot of us have the chance to see some isolated showers overnight Tuesday and into Wednesday. And you can see Wednesday morning temperatures will be cool enough in the upper atmosphere where we could have the chance to see a little bit more snowfall across the region. Now with the snow and the rain, accumulations aren't going to be very impressive, relatively speaking. Less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall and of snowfall. Looking forward, you can see mostly cloudy skies returning for the rest of the forecast. We'll be expecting a big time cool down in through Sunday, as you can see here on our jet stream. A big time trough coming in over on Wednesday. But the main theme is going to be on Sunday, where we could be seeing temperatures near the single digits. And I'll be back throughout the rest of the night with the final Skywatch forecast.
You mentioned some of those warmer temperatures. Maybe it's time to bring back out the short sleeves.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but 40 degrees is not warm, Andrew.
Kind
of. Thanks. And tonight in sports, Eastern Illinois men's and women's basketball teams only have 3 combined wins this year, but they do hope to change that stat after some weekend action.
Also, we're singing the praises of Illini basketball tonight. The team makes the trip to the Music City to play a fellow ranked opponent. And we'll have the highlights.
Thanks for watching. Your WEIU Sports Watch report is coming up next.
It's the season of dry skin, and if you're feeling the itch, you're not alone.
The cold temperatures outside, the high heat, and the low humidity, all of those factors play a role into making our skin more dry and more sensitive.
Dr. Susan Masick with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center says there are ways to protect your skin and provide some relief. She says it starts with hydration.
You want to moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. You can never moisturize enough.
Masick says most products out there are effective. Emollients and ointments like petroleum jelly can help seal moisture into the skin. Creams that have more oil than water can replenish skin to keep it healthy.
Lotions tend to have more water, and so they are able to glide on the skin more easily than creams, but creams and ointments are more moisturizing.
And when outdoors, she says to cover up to make sure your skin isn't exposed to the elements. Inside, consider using a humidifier and avoid taking long, hot showers. Keep it lukewarm and shorter. She says to also pay attention to what you're washing with.
And make sure we're using mild soaps, gentle cleansers, avoid the really harsh astringents, toners, perfumes, scented types of cleansers that can actually help irritate the skin.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
We begin the night with Illinois football as the Fighting Illini find out what bowl game they will play in. Illinois will play in the Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl against the Tennessee Volunteers on December 30th in Nashville. This is the second year in a row the Illini have secured a bowl, beating South Carolina 21-17 in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl on New Year's Eve last year. Head coach Brett Bielema knows how big this opportunity is.
And super excited for this bowl game opportunity. To play Tennessee, a very, very gifted football team, mirror us a lot, probably in the fact that they, have a very dynamic quarterback. To have this matchup, this moment is pretty cool. I think to have another quality SEC matchup with the two leagues going on is really, really awesome.
This will be the first time in program history the Fighting Illini will square off against the Tennessee Volunteers. Illinois and Tennessee both finished the season 8-4. Kickoff from Nissan Stadium in Nashville between the Illini and Vols is set for 4:30 on December 30th. And speaking of the Music City, the Illinois men's basketball team is also taking on Tennessee in Nashville in a battle of 2 ranked teams. Illinois is ranked number 14 and Tennessee is ranked number 13, and both teams show it, with Jacoby Gillespie joining in a 3 for the Volunteers and Thomas Lavavicic joining one from beyond the arc for the Illini. Skipping to the end of the second half, Keaton Wagler drives into the basket, shoves it out to Zvonimir Visic, and it must be St. Patrick's Day because he greens it. David Mirkovic puts the icing on the cake, and the Fighting Illini win the Music City Madness game over Tennessee 75-62. Illinois now improves to 7-2 in the season, and up next, the Illini will start Big Ten play on Tuesday against Ohio State. Moving down to Eastern Illinois basketball as both men's and women's teams look to get back in the win column. The Panthers women's team falls short to Illinois State 64-46 and marks the team's 8th loss this season, with just one win on the season. Despite the loss, Ella Loon and Ava Stoller carried the offense, scoring 16 points apiece. As for the men's side of things, the Panthers record their 3rd straight loss, falling to Lindenwood 82-74. 4 players scoring double digits for Eastern, including Cooper Jacoby, who finished the game with 20 points and 10 rebounds. The men's team will be back in action Wednesday, hosting Eastern Kentucky. The Chicago Bulls are desperately in need of a win after losing their last 6 games. Can they get the job done against the Golden State Warriors team that's without Steph Curry? We start this one off in the first. Jimmy Butler shows why he's on the all-time steals list as he takes this ball right out of the air and slams it down. But what's better than a fast-breaking dunk? Dunking on your opponent, and that's exactly what Matas Buzelis does on this play, showing no mercy on the rim, cutting the lead. Still down in the third, Josh Giddey has too much space to shoot it, and he proves it, draining this 3 with ease. But here come the Warriors as Butler matches that 3 with his own, and that would be too much for Chicago as the Warriors win this one 123-91 and extend the Bulls' longest active losing streak in the NBA. The wait for this historic matchup finally comes to an end as the Chicago Bears, who lead the NFC North, pay a visit to Lambeau Field and the second-place Green Bay Packers. After a scoreless first quarter, Jordan Love breaks open the game with his beautiful pass to Christian Watson for the 23-yard score. And with only a few seconds to go in the half, Green Bay has the Bears defense beat as Jordan Love lobs a 45-yard bomb to Bo Melton, giving the Pack a 14-3 halftime lead. Throughout the second half, the Bears claw their way back into this game and tie it up with Caleb Williams' touchdown pass to Ricky Colson-Loveland. Green Bay gets one more touchdown, and the Bears have a chance to win or go home and now they have a win or go home situation. Williams lets it fly, but it is picked off. And with that, Green Bay takes control of the NFC North, and Chicago falls to 9-4 and 7th overall in the conference. The Bears play Cleveland Sunday before a rematch with the Packers on December 20th. After Saturday's shutout loss to the Kings, the Chicago Blackhawks hope for a big-time rebound against a strong Anaheim Ducks squad. Facing off in the first, the Ducks catch Chicago defense sleeping as Jacob Trouba takes full advantage with the slap shot to take the lead. Moving to the second period, Anaheim is on a power play. The first shot by Gutter Gauthier is blocked, but Mason McTavish is ready for the tap-in to give the Ducks a 2-0 lead. Anaheim only continues to press harder. Beckett Seneca takes it himself and lets it rip. Goalie Arvid Soderblom can't react in time, and the Ducks' lead grows larger. Chicago needs a consolidation goal through Tyler Bertuzzi, and it's not even close. Anaheim wins 7-1, and the Blackhawks move to 12-11-6. They'll get ready to host the New York Rangers Wednesday night. Finally tonight, the college football playoff bracket is announced, but not without a bit of drama. Indiana is the 1 seed, followed by Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas Tech, all getting a first-round bye. Alabama and Miami squeezed into the bracket, but Notre Dame was left out of the playoffs, and after that, they opted out of their bowl game. That's all for sports. Olivia, over to you.
Thanks, Andrew. And finally tonight, a Disneyland superfan is gearing up to hit a milestone most park guests could never imagine. John Hale plans to ride Radiator Springs Racers for the 15,000th time this week. He calls the Cars-themed attraction his happy place and documents every ride in a detailed notebook. His love for the ride started in 2012 after he had major weight loss surgery, losing 150 pounds and 2 knee replacements. He reached 10,000 rides in 2017, a feat that took more than 5 years. Well, you know what kind of ride we've been on here in Central Illinois? We've been on the weather ride. Ben Whitney is back to recap the Skywatch forecast.
It's going to be quite the ride over the next week as well, Olivia. Overnight tonight, 19 degrees for our overnight low. We will see clouds start to move in overnight and through the day tomorrow. Winds from the southwest will start to pick up overnight tonight, but really be in store for tomorrow. 42 degrees for our high across East Central Illinois. We'll see those wind gusts get near 40 miles an hour and potentially near 50 miles an hour overnight Tuesday and into Wednesday. We'll see a little break in the clouds for our southern communities around the noon to afternoon hours tomorrow, but we will see this warmth get move out of the area very quickly as we look at our 7-day forecast. You can see we do have that possibility of some scattered showers or the potential for some flurries Wednesday morning. 38 degrees for our high on Wednesday. We'll be hovering right near the freezing point for the back half of the work week with 29 degrees on Thursday and 31 degrees on Friday. We do have the chance to see some snow to start the weekend, though models are disagreeing when we could see that. If we could see that, though, we'll continue to monitor that and update you nightly here on Newswatch. Temperatures near 10 degrees on Sunday. And looking at the start of next work week, we'll see temperatures near the mid-20s, which is still well below our average for this time of year, which should be near the mid-40s. That's a final look at your Skywatch forecast. Now back to the anchor desk.
Thanks, Ben. And that's a wrap for tonight's edition of Newswatch. The Skywatch forecast can be found anytime on our website.
And if you have a news tip for the newsroom, give us a call or send us an email. Coming up next in WEIU, BBC News The Context. Good night.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection. Commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.